Hello, my name is Minji. This is my Bangladesh ODI cricket top, and it's been a while since I've done a video on Bangladesh related cricket affairs. Listen, like I said, I'm the kind of guy that usually gives a reaction on Chelsea and Bangladesh cricket. But I stopped. I stopped caring on Bangladesh cricket. I couldn't give a shit about Bangladesh cricket when they lost 2-1 in the series to the UAE some months back. And then they followed it up of an embarrassing 2-1 series loss to UAE with a 3-0 hammering to Pakistan. They then played a series in Sri Lanka where they lost the Test series 1-0. They lost the ODI series 2-1, but they won the T20 series away at Sri Lanka 2-1. They then beat Pakistan in a series 2-1 at home. Mixed sort of results in the T20 section, losing to UAE and Pakistan, but then also beating Pakistan and Sri Lanka. Going into this Asia Cup, sort of mixed bags of what was going on. And to be honest, as a guy, and this is just me driveling on, I'm a British Bengali, all right? I was born in the UK. My parents emigrated in the 80s. They produced me. I'm obviously not a native British man. Otherwise, I'm going to get every reformist out there hanging my head on a rope. I'm obviously Asian. I'm British Bengali. From the British side of things, I just desperately want to see England win a trophy of any kind. Closest we've ever come is the Euros, World Cup, hopefully. Let's see what happens in 2026. I'm not going to mention the fabled words, "is coming home." But, hope. There's genuine hope with the England football team. Like, I know a lot of people criticise them, but at the end of the day, I'm not West Ham. I don't care about entertainment. I don't care about us lot thrashing teams like Andorra and San Marino 7-0. And if you're not thrashing them, why aren't we thrashing them? Just get the results, qualify, and then see what happens in the World Cup, or in the Euros or whatever we participate in. So far, so good in the qualification route to World Cup, USA, Mexico, and Canada for 2026. All right? But the hope is still there with the England football team. I don't care about the Bangladesh football team. It will take 500 generations before they eventually, finally, might end up playing in a World Cup. All right, San Marino are getting closer to qualify for the World Cup. They won the Nations League. All right, I will never see Bangladesh in a World Cup, never alone win it. All right, so I don't care about Bangladesh football. England cricket, I was blessed to see them win 2 T20 Cups, an ODI World Cup, the Ashes at home, and one Ashes series away at Australia. Hopefully they do the business in the Ashes series this Christmas. I wish the England boys best of huge of luck in the Ashes coming up. And as a Chelsea fan, of course, I've seen them win it all. The only thing I'm missing in my lifetime is an England football win at anything. Euros and World Cup, and Bangladesh winning something in cricket. Just these two I'm missing. And then I can safely say my life is complete. After those two things have been completed, my life is genuinely completed. I couldn't care less what happens to me in my life from there on in. All right? So that's where I stand in my lifetime. All right? But let's talk about this Asia Cup. Because the format is a little bit complicated, but it's also very simple to understand. You got 2 round robin or groups, okay? You've got Group A and you got Group B, all right? And they both have 4 teams in it, all right? Group A had India, Pakistan, Oman, and UAE. India and Pakistan went through in that one. It was just obvious. You could put your house on it. It was going to happen, all right? Group B, the group of death, had Afghanistan, Sri Lanka, Bangladesh, and Hong Kong, all right? I think everyone could have predicted that Hong Kong were going to lose all 3 of their games. It was just who was going to join them. All right, who was going to join them? A lot of people had Bangladesh down. And to be honest, I also had Bangladesh down. To be honest with you, I thought our tournament was going to be ended there and then in the group stages. All right, but it started off well. It started off well. The campaign started off on the 11th of September, and it started off with Bangladesh versus Hong Kong. All right, what was it? And it was in UAE. Okay, and it was in well, it's all held in UAE. What am I talking about? But yeah, the 11th of September, Hong Kong versus Bangladesh. We put Hong Kong into bat first. They managed 143 for 7. Bangladesh chased it down in 17.4 overs, 144 for 3. Great innings partnership by Lytton Das, really, who set the tone with a magnificent 59 runs. And he was supported well by Tawhid Ridoy with a 35. Opening pair of Parvez Hosseini Mon and Tanzil Hassan 19 and 40, not so great, but you know what we got there. Criticisms were held around saying they should have done it a lot more quicker, get the net run rate up, but you know what? A win is a win. 2 points on the board, all right? Okay. Then the next game against Sri Lanka, I said the game against Sri Lanka was going to be crucial in this group stage. It was going to be absolutely super crucial. Okay, because had Bangladesh beaten Sri Lanka and gotten 4 points at that point, I would have been much more obviously comfortable. But had I said that this Sri Lanka game was huge, because I generally thought we'd lose to Afghanistan very easily. I mean, they looked a solid unit. They have the formidable Rashid Khan, but they also have so many things going right for that squad that I generally thought Afghanistan were, as they were saying, the second best Asian team out there. How can little old Bangladesh fare against Afghanistan? So it was the one that would knock us out. Sri Lanka, Bangladesh, yeah? And I thought this is where the video would end. I would have said Bangladesh's entire Asia Cup campaign ended in 12 balls. All right, when it was 0 for 2. 2 maidens in the first 2 overs because we were put into bat and we were 0 for 2 to Sara and Shamira, absolutely tormenting the shite out of us. And they even got a ridiculous run out of Tawhid Ridoy. Everything went right for Sri Lanka. Somehow we posted 139 for 5, but Sri Lanka decimated us in 14.4 overs. It was an absolute annihilation. And I went, our Asia Cup ended in 12 balls. In 12 bloody balls. And I would have said, you know what? This team needs to fall apart. I've had it. I don't want to ever see Bangladesh ever play again. And then they played the game against Afghanistan, which was a do or die, but I thought they were just going to perish anyway. Until they surprised me. They genuinely surprised me. We put into bat first, all right? And for once, the opening pair, they genuinely surprised me. Saif Hassan, 30. Tanzil Hassan, 52. They blitzkrieg the power play. It was one of the best things I've ever seen. 59 for the loss of no wickets. There was little cameos from Tawhid Ridoy as well, and Samim Hussain, Jakar Ali, and Nurul Hassan. They all got in on the act. Well, the reason why we won that game is because, in Afghanistan's reply, Nasum Ahmed, he trapped Sadiqullah Tau LBW off the very first ball. After that, for some reason, we strangled Afghanistan. They couldn't handle it. There was a stat out there that was quite funny to read, that Afghanistan had never chased a total of greater than 150 against any 4 member nations. We made 154. Could they be the ones to finally break that duck? You'd expect so against Bangladesh, but our bowlers turned up. The fast bowlers, the spinners, they all strangled them. And there was one key difference that the commentator said, which was that the Afghan spinners, they don't turn the ball. They just bowl stump to stump in a good line. The Bangladeshi bowlers do know how to spin a ball. They spun a web around Afghanistan. But it was all set up by Nasser Mohammed trapping Sadiqullah Attal for an LBW 0. That's what set it all off. We won. We won by the skin of our teeth by 8 runs. And I was like, you know what? Fair play to these lot. Fair play to this lot. I still thought we would go out because by that point, all Afghanistan needed to do was beat Sri Lanka. But there were so many mathematical equations going on. It was doing my bloody head in. It was like C4 maths when I failed and got a bloody D in that, for Christ's sake. Yeah, D. You know, the lettering systems. Yeah, none of these numeric systems that are out there. Or maybe A levels are still, you know, graded as A to U. Who knows? I don't know. Anywho, going off track. There was just so many mathematics involved. The only way Bangladesh were going to go through was if Sri Lanka had won. That was it. All right. Or if Afghanistan had beaten Sri Lanka by a humongous margin. But if Afghanistan beat Sri Lanka by a small margin, then Bangladesh were out. I thought Afghanistan and Sri Lanka were going to go through. I thought that would have been the end of it. But thanks to that key game, Sri Lanka actually beat Afghanistan. They beat them, and they beat them very, very, very comfortably. All right, it was a bit of a massacre in the end by Rahmatullah Gurbaz. Was it Rahmatullah Gurbaz? I don't think it was Rahmatullah Gurbaz. I think it was. Who was it? It was, well, Mohammed Nabi was destroying Wala Lege. That was it, Mohammed Nabi. He got them to a total of 169, and I was already fearing the worst. I think the equation was if Sri Lanka were all out or all had scored 100 runs and less, then Bangladesh were through. But I generally thought we were out. But Sri Lanka, and thanks to Kusal Mendes and his 74 not out, was the reason why Bangladesh went through with Sri Lanka in Group B, the group of death. So Sri Lanka, Bangladesh advanced with India, Pakistan into the Super 4. And in the Super 4, it's simple. The top two qualify for the final. The top two qualify for the final. And the first match was Sri Lanka, Bangladesh. The whole reason why we got into the Super 4 was because of Sri Lanka's hospitality. And Sri Lanka decided to extend their hospitality by losing to Bangladesh. They made 168 for 7, and Bangladesh made 169 for 6 with 4 balls to spare. Was it 4 balls or 2 balls to spare? Whatever the case. But we got there. We just about got there. San Fasan was 61, Tamaduro 58, and in the end, we squirmed away over the line. It was too nervy. That last over was something special from Shanaka, who ended up getting a couple of wickets, and then we scraped a single. A direct run out would have taken it to the last ball, but we scraped through over the line. We got ourselves 2 points. It then meant, you know, all Bangladesh had to do was beat either India or Pakistan and qualify for the final. Now, Bangladesh played Pakistan today and they played India yesterday. There were complaints about the games being back to back. You know, it's not fair. There's not enough rest. It's a 2020. I'm not all about that excuse. You know, it's not a test match. It's a 2020. I couldn't give a flying shit about resting, okay? Against India, we were just outclassed by the bowling supreme Jasprit Bumrah. He absolutely ran a train through Bangladesh. It was carnage. I mean, we did well to restrict them to 168 for 6, but we were never really in the chase. We were 127 all out. That meant that the game against Pakistan was our do or die. It was a virtual semi-final. Pakistan had beaten Sri Lanka earlier, so they're on 2 points. We were on 2 points. Sri Lanka on 0, India through on 4 points. Whoever won today's bloody match between Bangladesh and Pakistan, we're going to join India in the Asia Cup final that was going to take place on Sunday. And I genuinely knew we were going to bottle it. I knew we were going to bottle it. But it's that classic saying, it's the hope that kills you. It's the hope that bloody kills you, because it is the hope that killed Bangladesh off. All right. We started that match on fire. I believe they were like 58 for 5. Now, don't get me wrong. A lot of commentators would say Bangladesh lost this match. I was hearing the commentators. They're saying they lost this match because of brain dead batting. They were just going for glory shots, glory shots, glory shots. They choked under pressure and all of that. I'll tell you where we lost this match. I'll tell you where we lost this match. It was Parvez Hossein Imon who dropped Mohammed Harris on the boundary ropes and he let it squirm out of his hands for four. After that, I saw every Bangladesh player. They just dropped their heads in disappointment and aghast. I think they just all lost their confidence. I don't want to blame Parvez Hossein Imon too fully here and say that it was all his fault. I think that's unfair on a young man like him, but you can tell when he dropped a dolly over at the boundary ropes. And I'm going to say this, that at the end of the day, catching a ball in cricket, wooden ball, is tough work, all right? I drop dollies for Mossley Hill Cricket Club, sadly. All right, it's not easy to catch a cricket ball, but you expect international players to do it. But you can tell when he dropped it and the ball squirmed off his hands and he went for a boundary four, you can tell every head drop. The confidence just drained. All right. I knew from that point we'd lost it. All right. He then Mohammed Harris made a contributable 31 runs. All right. They got them to a total of 135 for 8. We can only muster 124 for 9. Pakistan had won by 11 runs. Therefore, the world gets to see the third part of this magnificent India-Pakistan rivalry. It's there for Sunday. The crowd got what they wanted. The people got what they wanted. That's where it was. But our dreams died in Dubai. And it just hurts. It genuinely hurts. What can I say? It's rough. It's genuinely rough. Don't want to be too harsh. I don't want to be too critical. I think Bangladesh have done amazingly. I think they overachieved in this tournament, but it's always that same old saying, when the push comes to shove, when it really matters the most, when the pressure comes to it, can they really do it? No, they can't. And it always happens. And unfortunately, we lost because of that drop catch, because everybody else lost their confidence. I don't agree with the commentators on brain dead batting. I think that's harsh. I think it's the right approach to, just, get this total chase down quickly. Because if you tap it around for singles, but then one of Pakistan's spin bowlers strangle you for dots, then the run rate climbs and you're thinking, why didn't I take a big shot? Because that's what Bangladesh were blamed for in the past. They would say, okay, cool, there's a small target, let's just tap it around for singles, and then 1 or 2 overs for like literally 1 run or 2 runs, and then they choke. They're like, oh no, we should have played a big shot earlier. No. I like the fact that they're taking a leaf out of India's book. You look at India. I remember they chased a total against. If I bring up the result, it was the first game against Oman, if I believe. Where was it? No, UAE. Sorry, they bowled out UAE for 57, and India chased 57 inside 4.3 overs. It was just carnage. It was boundaries everywhere. All right. I agree with it. I say take a leaf out of India's book. Take a leaf out of India's book. Take a leaf out of the team who's the best. The best team in this tournament now being India. I agree. We're taking gung-ho approach. Don't tippy-tapper it. It's a fucking knockout game. Go gung-ho. Go gung-ho and see what fucking happens. And unfortunately, what happened was we were finding the Pakistani fielders with metronomic ease, sadly. It's just the way it is. But at least they died by playing the sword properly. It was quite funny, though, because like, this whole journey, I was giving my best mate, Kyle, 29 quid. I was like, Kyle, I'll give you 29 quid if Bangladesh beat Sri Lanka. Kyle, I'll give you 29 quid if Bangladesh beat Afghanistan. Carl, I'll give you 29 quid if Sri Lanka beat Afghanistan and take Bangladesh with them into the Super Fours. And it was working. It was working until we played India and Pakistan, and it just didn't work anymore. But what can I say? It's another dream that died. I wish India, Pakistan the best of luck in the final. Hard luck Bangladesh. It is what it is. Let's see what happens in the Ashes coming up this December. Come on, the Barmy Army. Let's reclaim the urn. But until then, someone play a small violin. Au revoir and good night.